Hi.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm Holly. Hi, Holly. Nice to meet you.
We've got a couple more minutes before we start. So I started the Facebook Live. So hi everybody that's joining. So just props that you might want to get tonight. If you don't have blocks at home, you can grab some books that will be of even height. If that seems okay for you, and either a couple of blankets or a couple of towels that you can roll up. So those are things that you can get, and you can practice on anything that you want. Hi, Jo Marie. Hi. Very excited to be here as always. I heard last time it was a little dark, so I'm going to leave my light on tonight so people can see me. I'm going to mute the participants in the Zoom, so don't be alarmed. And it's not allowing me to mute everybody. All right. All right, guys. Hi. Happy Thursday. Tuesday. I'm sorry. Happy Tuesday. Okay. So, couple things. It's exciting. I can do announcements at the studio. So we have a full schedule up and running this week. So if you're here, hopefully you're seeing that that's happening at ease. Hi, everybody, as they start joining. So super excited that we have all of these teachers participating, and Tara's helping us navigate the way with that. I'll keep doing our Yin on the Tuesdays at 7. And you can check the ease page for all the other classes. I know she just got some tank tops in and still has mats, so if anybody needs anything, just let Tara know and she can help navigate that. We're working on getting lots of stuff together for you guys. We're trying to keep all the content free. Thank you everybody for helping out and sticking with us during this time, and I hope you guys are doing as well as possible. Quite an interesting time, right? And for those who know that there's often a mascot that comes, we have our rainbow unicorn mascot tonight. All right. So, if you want to use the playlist that I put out, I usually don't begin it until we come up from settling in. So it's your choice if you want to start it early or if you just want to wait till after we do our settling in and our breath work. So everybody come and find a shape that's going to work for you as we settle into the space. So you could lay down, you could sit up. Finding anything that feels organic. And soft gaze or closed eyes, just coming into this space. A lot of different emotions right now. So, as I always say, show up exactly where you are. It's not a right, it's not a wrong. And I don't think there's a single person on the planet not feeling a lot right now. So you're not alone in that. So just noticing how you're coming into the space tonight and honoring that it's okay however you are. And take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, just release. Begin to notice the places on your body touching the earth. Allowing yourself to feel supported and connected. And take another deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, just let go. Begin to notice anywhere in the body that feels full of sensation, where your awareness is just drawn there. And this next cleansing breath, the invitation is to soften around the sensation. Take a deep inhale and release. If your mind is feeling busy and crowded, beginning to slow it down, allowing a pause, allowing some space. And this next round of breath, the invitation is to soften in the mind. Take a deep inhale and just let go. If there's something unnamed within you, something you're not quite sure what it is, maybe there's no words for it, it's purely sensation or energy. Maybe it's something you feel needs to soften. Maybe it's something you feel needs to energize. Maybe you're just not even sure what it needs. On this next round of breath, allowing you to bring anything to that you need. Take a deep inhale. And just let go. And slowly bring your awareness to your heart space, Anahata chakra, glowing with green, love, light, awareness, fear for balance. And begin to allow this breath to spin with this energy, clockwise. With every heartbeat, feel it grow stronger. If you're happy where your hands are, leave them. If it feels more organic to bring the hands to the heart space, you could bring a hand right onto the chest and another on top of that. You could bring hands into prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. Anything that feels good, that allows you to connect. And as you become aware of this heart space, begin to set an intention. Your intentions showing up in life as real life manifestations. The universe will send you those breadcrumbs that allow these things to manifest. So what is it that you need to ask for? Begin to bring that in, allowing it to spin with this energy. Collective breath for intention. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and let go. And then taking 3 soft, even rounds of breath for anything else that you need. No rush. And when you're ready, slowly begin to come back. Soft gaze. If you've been sitting, you can switch whatever leg is in front. You can even come to kneeling for a moment if that would feel more comfortable. We're going to do some thalamus thumping. So there's a spot in the breastplate right towards the middle of the chest. Like if you were doing a Tarzan thing, it would be right about there. So you can do this multiple ways. If tapping on your chest feels uncomfortable, you don't have to do that. If you prefer to just rub there, but it's considered the happiness point. So it allows energy and happiness to flow. If there's a lot of fear energy built up, it allows that to release. So you can begin to just thump. You can even use your fist, a nice closed fist. And again, you rub whatever feels good. And we're going to do this for about 20 rounds of breath. So keep breathing. And letting it go, right? Letting go all that pent up energy, all those extra thoughts. On every inhale, let it go away. What are some of the happy things you need to bring in right now? Bringing some of that in and letting the other stuff just go. About halfway through, keep on thumping. It's fun to talk while I'm doing this. I'm sure you're getting some interesting sounds out of me. Keep on going. Again, big breaths. Inhale. Let go. About 5 more. Just keep letting go. It doesn't serve you. Take about 2 more rounds. And then just pause for a moment. Just notice what you feel. Probably your hands feel a little tingly. And when you're ready, slowly begin to come back. And we're going to come into lung bench. So a couple ways we can do this today. You can put books underneath your head if you don't have blocks. If you have blocks, I'll make it really simple. For those who have blocks, it's going to look like an equal sign. You're going to have the blocks the same height. One block's going to go under your head, and the other block is going to go under the broad part of your shoulder blades. So not low down. You can also do this with books. Books are fine. You could put a pillow over, you could put a towel or a blanket over the books, or you can just do this with the rolled towels tonight, where you could have a nice tight rolled towel underneath your head, and then take another one, and you could bring it underneath the shoulder blades of the back so that the towel is not long down your back, but going across. So then you'll come down and just around the shoulder blades, and you can lay the arms over the towel. Harder to see on the Facebook group, but the towel would come out underneath the arms to give you a little lift in the chest part to help open up the lungs. And if anybody has any quick questions about that setup, let me know. You can have feet on the earth with the knees knocked together. Soles of feet can come together, knees can knock out. You can grab opposite elbows and let the arms hang over the head. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let it go. So in Chinese medicine, the lungs hold a lot of fear. And fear doesn't have to be considered a bad emotion unless that's the only place that we live. So when we're in lung bench, when we're in this shape, it's also an opportunity for the energy in the body to build, to grow. So giving yourself an opportunity here to maybe let go of some of those bigger emotions while you allow the other energy to come in. After rain, the empty mountain stands autumnal in the evening. Moonlight in its groves of pine, stones of crystal in its brooks, Bamboo's whisper of washer girls bound home. Lotus leaves yield before a fisher boat. And what does it matter that springtime has gone, while you are here, O Prince of Friends? It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning us to be careful. Be realistic. Remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself, and if you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul, if you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. Orion Mountain Dreamer. Stillness will meet you for tea or a walk by the ocean. You must be gentle when you approach her. She is more sensitive than we can even imagine. She does not explain herself much. Sometimes I bring her flowers, not because she needs them, she tends several gardens, but because I am better able to meet her when I am carrying flowers. Her favorite time is dawn. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let it go. When ready, bringing chin to chest, finding your way back up to seated slowly and gently. Finding any organic release from this pose, maybe a seated cat-cow. You can bring your feet a little wider than hip distance apart and let the knees knock side to side to release out in the hips. And when you're done finding your release, just pause. Soft gaze, closed eyes, and just begin to notice what has come up. Noticing without judgment. When you're ready, slowly come back. Our next pose is going to be dragon. So if you have blocks, bring the blocks. If you have cranky knees, like I do, a blanket or a towel for underneath a knee. You can also use books. I'm going to have to learn to say our other props in the house. All right, so we're going to start with our right leg forward. And this is basically your lizard lunge. So if you have the blocks, you're going to prop up onto the blocks, finding that sink down. The back knee, if that gets cranky, just take your towel, take a blanket, put it underneath the shin to help elevate the knee. The knee doesn't even have to touch the earth. So this gets fiery very quickly. So you don't have to go as deep. You can be further up, having less of a bend and a pressure into that left hip flexor. Hands can be on books. Just make sure they're stable and they're not going to slide out from underneath you. All right. So here we go. And this is one of those ones you need to learn to breathe. Don't stop breathing. So take a deep inhale and release. Take another breath and just let go. I always like to be here with you for this one, so just keep remembering, don't hold your breath. Are you already clenching your teeth? Let that go. Are your shoulders up at your ears as you feel sensation? Relax them down. I'll remind you of those things again. Rolf Gates, from his Meditations from the Mat, quotes Charles Johnston. We are to think of ourselves as immortals, dwelling in the light, encompassed and sustained by spiritual powers. The steady effort to hold this thought will awaken dormant and unrealized powers, which will unveil to us the nearness of the eternal. There are two lessons in this beautiful statement about yoga. The first concerns our true nature, dwelling in the light, encompassed and sustained by spiritual powers. Either we believe in our innate goodness and beauty or we do not. It is up to each of us to decide. We may spend our entire lives believing a lie about our true nature, or we may put our trust in our own grace, Either way, most of us have to choose what we believe about ourselves each day, each hour, each moment of our lives. The Yoga Sutras suggest that we stand in our divinity, that we consciously experience ourselves as miraculous. In the second sentence, Charles Johnston returns us to one of the central truths of the Yoga Sutras, that energy is like a muscle. It grows when we use it. We grow in our capacity to do the right thing each time we do the right thing. Steady effort to hold this thought will awaken dormant and unrealized powers within us, which will bring us closer to that which we seek. So our divinity is affirmed, and the manner in which we can make manifest this divinity is outlined. We believe and act accordingly, and as we do this, belief grows in our life, within us, the power to move forward. Are you breathing? Notice the jaw. Make sure you're not clenching in the teeth. Can you release the shoulders? Take a deep inhale. Never forget the importance of that breath to get you through that tight moment. The realization for the mind that this too is going to come to an end is an important lesson to hold on to. So we learn that here in these shapes with these sensations. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. When ready, begin to shift this front leg back. You could do some cow and cats to help release from this shape. You could do downward dog, bending the knee and opening the hip, doing some circles. Could take a flow, anything that allows you to organically release from this shape. I'll give you 3 rounds of breath here to take your release. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. We're going to find our way to the other side. So left leg's going to come up. Again, hands could be on the earth. If you actually are coming forward and you feel like you need more space to sink into the pose, scooch your foot out further away from your hands, the front foot, and you might have more room to sink the hips lower to the earth. Because I'm not with you, it's harder to see what's going on. So maybe play with that before you come into this side. Each side will feel different, so notice where you need to be. Find your first point of resistance before you sink deeply, deeply into this. And gather the breath deeply. And release. Inhale once again. And just let it go. I'm not old. I'm not old, she said. I am rare. I am the standing ovation at the end of the play. I am the retrospective of my life as art. I am the hours connected like dots to good sense. I am the fullness of existing. You think I am waiting to die, but I am waiting to be found. I am a treasure. I am a map. And these wrinkles are imprints of my journey. Ask me anything. Samantha Reynolds. Again, notice the jaw. Are you clenching the teeth together? Are the shoulders up at the ears? Can you relax them down? Are you in battle with the mind? Allow yourself to soften there, giving yourself an invitation to know that this sensation has an end. We hold that old trauma, stuck emotions, stuck creativity, all in these hips. So we're letting it go. These things that we don't even know what they might be. So look at this as an opportunity through every bit of sensation as release. An invitation to yourself to create more space, to bring in something new. By allowing yourself to shed something that you might not even have a memory of. It's just been left stuck within you. When the despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound and fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things. Do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day, blind stars waiting with their light. For the time I rest in the grace of the world, and am free. Wendell-Berry. Sometimes all the qualities seem to talk at once, and I don't know who to listen to first. Certainty comes into the room and stands in the doorway and gives me a good long look until I hear the silence again. When certainty is bored, he disguises himself in old clothes and goes to the bars with confusion. He has an outstanding sense of direction. He knows how to walk until everything makes sense again. When certainty is lost inside his mind, he writes his name over and over until he is back. Certainty knows many alphabets. He is an architect with language. His words build meanings. He loves fine calligraphy and beautiful type. He once told me, "My love affair with language goes down to the letter." Although certainty is an excellent scholar, he starts to miss the trees when he spends too much time with his books. He enjoys documenting his thoughts and investigating philosophical theories. In his own inimitable way, he is trying to find out where ideas come from and how they grow. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. Begin to release this front leg back. You can find a cat-cow. You can take some circles with the hips. You can find a downward dog, lifting that one leg to the sky, bending the knee, allowing the hip to circle. Allowing for any type of release that you need from this shape. And then when you're ready and you've found the organic movements that you need to release, find some stillness and pause. Soft gaze, closed eyes. Just noticing without judgment what has come up. Maybe a memory, maybe a sound, maybe an idea, maybe a smell, maybe things were quiet. So noticing without judgment. When you're ready, slowly begin to come back. Our next shape is going to be butterfly. If you find, so butterfly would be soles of feet together, knees knock out. Today we're working on getting into some deeper sensation for release. So bringing the heels closer to your groin will allow for that. If you need to take your books, your towels, anything underneath that base part of the thighs or the knees to help support, feel free. You can also take the books to help your forehead. What we're looking for in the back is, if this is your pose, try to sit up a little bit on a blanket or the towels to help the low back, the pelvis, come forward with you in the fold so that you're not all rounding in the upper back. We want some of the pelvis to tip forward, even if it's not the whole hinging action. And if you feel like butterfly is too much, you can also do dragonfly, which is just legs out wide. You can bend in the knees and fold forward. So whichever feels better for you tonight. And then gather the breath deeply. And release. Inhale once again. And just let go. So from Melody Beatty, The Language of Letting Go, on fear. One day I decided to try something new. Took my 10-year-old son out on the St. Croix River on a wave runner. Wave runner is a small boating vehicle resembling a motorcycle. We donned life jackets and embarked on an experience that turned out to be both exhilarating and frightening. Exhilarating when I let myself enjoy it. Frightening when I thought too much about what I was doing and all the terrible things that could happen. Midway through our ride, my worst fear came true. We took a spill. We were floundering in 30 feet of water. The wave runner was bobbing on the waves in front of me, like a motorized turtle on its back. "Don't panic," my son said calmly. "What if we drown?" I objected. "We can't," he said. "We have life jackets on. See? We're floating." "The machine is upside down," I said. "How are we going to turn it over?" "Just like the man said," my son answered. "The arrow points this way." With an easy gesture, we turned the machine right side up. "What if we can't climb back on?" I asked. "We can," my son replied. "That's what wave runners were made for, climbing on the water." I relaxed and we drove off. I wondered why I had become so frightened. Thought maybe it's because I don't trust my ability to solve problems. Maybe it's because once I almost drowned when I wasn't wearing a life jacket. "But you didn't drown then either," a small voice inside reassured me. "You survived. Don't panic." Problems were made to be solved. Life was made to be lived. Although sometimes we may be in over our heads. Yes, we may even go under for a few moments and gulp a few mouthfuls of water. We won't drown. We're wearing and always have been wearing a life jacket. And that support could be your higher power. Today I will remember to take care of myself. When I get in over my head, My higher power is there supporting me, even when my fears try to make me forget. So noticing here as we fold, as we open, as we create a dam of energy that we will release and let flood within us. Noticing your ability to be strong, your ability to be brave. And for the first time in many years in history, this is something we are all experiencing together. Even if we experience it differently and have different feelings or have different situations, no matter how deep we go under, together we will all come back up. I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance to live, so that which came to me as seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which came to me as blossom goes on as a fruit. Donna Markova. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. When ready, slowly walk yourself back up. Maybe bringing the feet wider than hip width, letting the knees knock side to side. You could do some seated cat-cow. You can do a reverse table, bringing hands to the earth, fingers face you, lifting hips to the sky, opening up in the other direction. Could do some cat-cows, finding any organic movement that feels good to you. And when you're done, finding a pause. And just noticing what has come up. Noticing without judgment. When you're ready, slowly begin to come back. So our next pose is going to be starfish. I'm going to do my best to show you against the wall, which is one of the places that you can do it. Otherwise, you can do it on the floor. So you're going to bring your right arm out in a T. If you're doing it against the wall, you'll kneel besides the wall and bring your arm up against the wall. For some people, this will be too intense. You can angle the arm higher. This is the same thing you'll be doing on the ground. If you are on the earth, the legs are going to go long, the arm comes out beside you, and you begin to roll over onto your right side with the support of your left hand. So you're going to the sensation level that you can tolerate. Even if you're on the earth, you can angle your arm towards your head, and that will decrease the intensity of sensation. You can continue to roll onto your side, and if you want, you can bring a foot to the earth and the knee can be bent. Remember, I'm not with you, I'm not in your body. You're not going past what's a tolerable sensation here. Do less in this pose if need be. That is a perfect place to be with us. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. Getting into the shoulders tonight a little more because I think the weight of the world is on so many of us. So allow the world to hold itself as it heals, as we are seeing that is happening. There are many good things happening in terms of kindness and generosity, in terms of healing. I'm watching places that have been at war for 1,000 years become quiet. So maybe we're relearning some very important things. So have hope. Have your breath. And just be. If you're just coming back for any reason, finding starfish with the right arm out, rolling over onto the right side. When the moon fell in love with the sun, silver and gold were never further apart. When polar opposites fall in love, they only touch with broken hearts. She said, "You can burn me with every glance, and I wouldn't mind the flames." And she said, "I'll love the ocean and every moment of heartache." And when the moon fell in love with the sun, I suppose that you learn you'll sacrifice anything for love when day falls in love with night. In every breath, if you're the center of your own desires, you'll lose the grace of your beloved. But if in every breath you blow away your self-claim, the ecstasy of love will soon arrive. In every breath, if you're the center of your own thoughts, the sadness of autumn will fall on you. But if in every breath you strip naked just like a winter, the joy of spring will grow from within. All your impatience comes from the push for gain of patience. Let go of the effort and peace will arrive. All your unfulfilled desires are from your greed for gain of fulfillments. Let go of them all, and they will be sent as gifts. Fall in love with the agony of love, not the ecstasy. Then the beloved will fall in love with you. slowly begin to come back. Take a deep inhale and release. Take another round of breath and just let go. If you're on your side, using the left hand to help you roll back over to release the right arm, you could just roll the shoulders out as you face the earth. If you're against the wall, you can just release. You can extend the arms and maybe twist the arms one direction and the other, finding any organic release, rolling the head around. And then we're going to come right to the other side. So right hand to the earth, left arm will extend out, rolling over onto the left side. And again, you can do this against the wall. If you want less sensation, the arm is angled, and you can angle it at any time on that clock. That feels good for your tolerance to stay here in the pose. Again, I'm not with you, so be kind. Find just before your edge here so that you can stay here with it. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so particularly bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now. Be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are. So fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant. Just for now. Dana Faulds. Again, using that breath, allowing for the idea that deep sensation has an end, emotional and physical, spiritual, that these waves come intensely and they also recede with calmness and sometimes simplicity. So allowing yourself not to know the answers and every solution, but just being, knowing that's a perfect place. When your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. Time to go into the dark where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There, you can be sure you are not beyond love. The dark will be your womb tonight. The night will give you a horizon further than you can see. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. When ready, using the right hand to help you roll back onto your center. If you're against the wall, just releasing, finding any rollout for the shoulders here. Taking any movements. If you're on your back, you could hug the knees into the chest and release. You could make circles in the sacrum. You could just allow the arms to fall out in a T or even by your sides, or allow the hands to just rest on the chest to just relax the shoulders. So anything that feels good and organic for you. And then just taking a pause, just noticing what has come up. And then when you're ready, slowly begin to come back. We're going to come into, I'm going to give you two options. So you can take bridge pose, you can take your stack of books or a block. And feet come to the earth, come down onto your back, lift the hips, and just slide your stack underneath your sacrum. If it feels uncomfortable, you can always place a towel over it, palms face the sky. And just release here. If you want, you can do snail, where there is nothing underneath your sacrum. You rock up on your shoulders and then allow the legs to fall behind you. Feet coming to the earth, also known as plow if you have a flow practice. So picking either shape. If you're in the bridge and you want to slide a leg out onto the earth and then the other to straighten the legs, you can try that. Sometimes it's easier when the hips are higher. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhaling once again. And just let go. Without a thought or a word, she let go. She let go of fear. She let go of judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She just let go. She let go of all the memories that held her back. She let go of all the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her hair. And the sun and the moon shone forevermore. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again. Just let it go. If the blocks are underneath you, lift the hips to remove them, or the books. If you're in the snail, come back. Hug the knees into the chest and release. Hug the knees into the chest and release. Make circles on the sacrum. 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. And if this is a release that feels good to you, feel free to stay here longer. And then when you're ready, hug the knees in, allow the knees to fall over to the right. Arms open out in a T or cactus. Look over the left shoulder. Soft gaze, closed eyes. Gather the breath deeply and release. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. When ready, bring the knees back up to center. Hug them in and release. Hug them in and release. Make circles with the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. Again, enjoying these movements as much as you want. Stay here as long as you need to. When you're ready, allow the knees to fall over to the left. Open the arms in a T or cactus. Look over to the right shoulder. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Bring the knees up to center, hug them in and release, hug them in and release. Make circles in the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. And we're going to get ready to set up for Shavasana, final rest. So if there's any other final movements that your body is craving or that you need, feel free to take them now. If you want to put on more clothing, if you want to dim the lights, if you want to go over to one of your walls and put the legs up the wall for Shavasana, if you want to take a pillow or a rolled blanket or towel for underneath your knees as your legs are outstretched to help lift up the knees slightly, that can feel great on the lower back. It can also feel nice to put anything across your hip points to help ground you down. If you're having any low back issues, if your legs are outstretched, you could bring feet just wider than hips and let the knees knock in for support. You could also bring soles of feet together and let the knees knock out, supporting them with anything that you might need. So Shavasana, final rest, total relaxation, not meditation. So as I talk you down through your body, just know in the moments after I get done talking, I'll give some time just for you to be internal. I haven't left. The system didn't glitch out. Just going to give you some time for yourself. So take a deep inhale here and release. Begin to notice heels heavy into the earth, soles of the feet relaxing, toes relaxing, tops of feet. Begin to soften the ankles, releasing out anything in the shins or the calves, even relaxing the knees, relaxing the thighs, front and back, relaxing the hip points, releasing the buttocks, allowing the back body to just feel heavy into the earth. The shoulders rest down. Notice where they are. Are they rolling forward? Can you release them back? Back of head is heavy. Letting front body just release. Allowing it to melt towards the earth, held and heavy. Softening in the brows, relaxing the eyes, maybe wiggling the bottom jaw back and forth to release any final tension here. Tongue is heavy, mouth relaxed. If you're having a thought that's normal, just let it pass. If another one comes in, just let it go. Enjoy these final moments, and I will call you back. Slowly begin to come back, bringing breath back into your beautiful body, joining the spirit with the physical, wiggling fingers and toes, nodding head side to side, maybe bringing arms overhead for a morning stretch to bring the body back. If where you are is divine, the invitation is to remain there. If ready, hug the knees into the chest, rolling over onto the right, pausing here. Place of beginnings, knowing all things from this moment forward are possible. When ready, finding your way up to seated, closed eyes or soft gaze, reclosing them once there. And then just pausing, noticing what has shifted, what has changed. Hopefully we emptied what was full and filled what was empty. Bringing the hands to heart center, palms pressed together, come back to the intention set at the beginning. Breathing through this heart space, take a deep inhale. Open the mouth, release, allowing that intention to fly off to the universe, knowing it will be heard. It was an honor and privilege to practice with you tonight. We bow our head to our hearts together. We say, Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm so grateful to be here with you. I got to show you that I don't have a dead body next to me because her paw is poking out, but I have a very grumbly, tired old lady keeping me company. So that was the other mascot, not something I'm just like hiding in my room. So thank you for joining. Lots of other announcements coming your way, other classes that will be posted and other classes that are live. If you guys need anything, if there's anything you would like us to give to you in terms of content, please let us know, because we're here for you in the best way that we can be right now. So everyone take breath, take a pause, keep finding, the cherry blossoms to look at and all the good stuff that you can. And I'm so grateful that we have this connection, at least, and sending you guys lots of love and virtual hugs. And if anybody needs anything, just let me know. All right, I will talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.